His presidency effectively ended today. He will retain the office, of course, but not the powers, because he demonstrated today that he has none. The members of Donald Trump's own party in the House of Representatives and the Senate do not care what he thinks. Here's what he was doing yesterday after he publicly gave up trying to win support for his own bill. And so tonight, the president, who has already proven himself to be the laziest, most ignorant president in history, is now the weakest. It will be Paul Ryan's tax cut negotiated with Mitch McConnell, and Donald Trump will sign it, because all Donald Trump is now to this Congress is the rubber stamp for what they choose to pass. Members of Congress vote for a bill that they don't like very much because their president needs them to do it. That's how Bill Clinton got his first big bill passed, by exactly one vote in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. And what put the bill over the top was the belief among Democrats in the House and Senate that if their president lost on his first big bill, his presidency would be instantly irrelevant. It was a hard vote for them. But that argument always works. Republicans in the House do not care about the Trump presidency, and they proved that today by crushing the Trump presidency into irrelevance. Trump voters were convinced that Donald Trump could push Congress around, that any member of Congress who crossed Donald Trump would have his or her political career instantly destroyed by a Trump tweet. The Congress would live in fear of Donald Trump. He issued the ultimatum. It was time to shut up and vote. And if they didn't vote for the Trump bill this time, they would not get another chance. And now we know what a Donald Trump ultimatum means to congressional Republicans. Absolutely nothing. He quit. He gave up. He could have said, we're going to spend the weekend working on this bill and see if we can bring it to a vote next week. And if we can't do that, we'll keep working on it until we can bring it to a vote. That's what you're supposed to say. Remember Bill Clinton's speech the day he surrendered on health care the way Donald Trump did today? Do you remember Hillary Clinton's speech the day that the Clintons surrendered to Congress on their health care crusade? No, you don't. Because they never surrendered. Not publicly. Because the door never actually closes on legislation. But Donald Trump just gave up today. It was just too complicated. And more importantly, because he is the laziest, most ignorant, most incompetent, and now the most irrelevant president in history.
When you are asking members of Congress to take a dangerous vote, you actually have to get them committed to something bigger than themselves. You have to convince them this is a big deal, that it is worth losing your seat over. And Trump did not understand the bill, did not seem to like it very much, did not like to talk about it, and came in with a cynical political closing argument. If you don't vote for it, you'll lose your seat. And that is not enough to get people to vote for a bill that only has a 17% approval rating.
As Ezra noted, I've talked to members who've been in these meetings, and they have said basically this guy has no clue whatsoever what he's talking about.
Some members were having conversations with Paul Ryan that were unsatisfactory, and then they would go down to the White House and have conversations with the president, and the president would say, yeah, I think you're right. I think we should try to do that, thereby undermining whatever Paul Ryan had just said to them.
It was not just that Donald Trump did not know enough to make a good case for it. There wasn't a good case that could be made for it. If there was, somebody else could have been out there doing it. Paul Ryan could have been out there doing it, but there wasn't. When Heritage Action came out against the bill today, they said, you got to vote against this bill because not a single conservative healthcare policy analyst is for it. This was a bill opposed by not just ARP, but the American Hospital Association, the American Medical Association. Anybody who knew anything about healthcare looked at this and said it was terrible. And not only was it bad, but it broke all of their promises. It broke Donald Trump's promises to give everybody health care and to make sure that care had lower deductibles.
If you're a fiscal conservative, this bill looked like a disaster. If you're a market conservative, you look at this bill and say, wow, we've just reconfigured the giveaways to the insurance industry and pharma a little bit. We haven't done anything that's going to bring market forces in to reduce the premiums and to reduce the deductibles, to reduce the burdens that have been imposed on people by Obamacare. And there was no effort to market this bill beyond the thought that Donald Trump would sell it to the public.